When I was a child, I grew up in the former Democratic Republic in East Germany called GDR. And life in the Germany was very much regulated on many levels: material, socially, politically, religious. I was trained as a young pioneer there, a child that learns to become a good socialist, communist member of society. A member that cares about, that really shares communist, socialist ideas. But actually it didn't come so far, because when the war fought on, I turned 11. So I was too young to really learn all that in detail. If I want to remember that, I have to look up historian books myself. And I don't feel any inclination towards this kind of ideology. But I have some strong memories of some things that had a good impact on me. For example, I remember a very good sense of a bigger community that shared one ideology. And as a child, I didn't know what kind of ideology it really was and couldn't compare them if it was bad or good or such. And I remember and shared a society that has more or less equal access to material goods, a society that valued peace on this planet, a society that valued equanimity between cultures, a society or classes, a society that cared about the poor in Africa, a society that made it possible for everybody to have income or social care. And as a child, I also learned to take care of the environment, to learn how to recycle things or to plant trees. So I learned how to separate white, red, green, brown glass, separate plastic from paper and such. And after school, many of us, we went to neighborhoods and collected recycling to help them, and also we taught each other how to do that properly. And also as a child, I learned to keep friendship with like-minded people. And that was for me the first experience to explore actually different cultures. So we wrote letters to children from Russia or other East European countries and even Africa, South America. And here, again, I didn't care from which countries they have been, because I did not know really what the ideology is there behind. But what I learned is that we were supposed to keep friendship with all children from the whole world. So that was my understanding. I don't want to promote something what happened in the past. I don't want to idealize the life of the GDR, of German Democratic Republic. Not at all. I heard a lot about the suffering of the people there, really a lot. I know that many people felt deprived from having no access to news or to books from different countries like America or West Germany, France. People feared, especially the secret government police from the East Germany, the Stasi. And who had an eye on so many people there in this country. The people feared to speak about the West, about West Germany, about America, even to speak about West culture or about their own families who lived on the other side. So they had to leave their own apartments to be able to do that in many cases, and to speak privately in parks or in forests. So I also remember very much the suffering due to attachment and craving that many of us had towards material goods that were not available for us. But we knew that on the other side, in my case only, I don't know how many it was in American size, but 150 meters apart from my own apartment where my mother lived, those people had access to all those informations on material goods and freedoms. So why I bring this package to the surface is actually because this reduction or this regulation, this wall between two countries did not work. I saw classmates coming from home, bringing all kinds of goods like comics, clothes, music, food with them that they received from the other side, from their family members or from who knows from where. And this created a great sense of afflictions, of pride, jealousy, attachment, anger. And those who possessed those things, as well as those who received those things. or did not have those things. And it felt as everybody is crazy towards those things from the West, those West products that the advertisement proclaimed that these are the things that bring ultimate happiness. And even if we were not supposed to watch advertisement from West Germany or America, still some of us had access. Or we listened to the tourists who came in, or family members who visited from time to time. So we were crazy for really crazy things, like chocolate from the West. Yeah, we were crazy for candies from America. Some guys were crazy for headphones. Or even for those who had a little bit more money, what they shouldn't have actually, for cameras. So my conclusion from my own experience is that reducing the access to material goods by force or without a really sense of understanding, a really good reason, does not work. The craving for pleasure and the urge for equanimity of humankind is very, very strong. Here Buddhism comes in for me. Since I learned about the results of following attachment, for example, I'm much more interested voluntarily to reduce my consumptions. I realized that strong attachment leads to suffering. It's like a bottomless vase, always wanting more, better, never being satisfied. But I realized that I don't need all those things to practice the Dharma. That became my most interest in my life. And if I use material goods, such as computers and more, then I use it to benefit others. It's not mine, it belongs to others. So a culture of reduction, what I experienced in the GDR, was a good experience. In order to realize that it's that it's not necessarily better and brings greater happiness to have all these material goods. But still I have to watch out for this deep ingrained habit of mine to wanting happiness, to possess things without realizing that this will not bring the happiness I'm really looking for. So nowadays, my attachment is not towards chewing gum or chocolate from the West. It's maybe a tablet, maybe a better robe made of fine material, or food. And even as a monastic like I, who is coming from Germany, might crave for goods from my own home country, like food. Or even, so crazy, for these kind of sweet tissues with a lighthouse picture on it. Really, I discovered that I'm attached to that, because it's not only how the package is looking like, it's also the tissues in America are very thin somehow, and this one you can use for a week at least, because it's thick. So I always have to watch out and ask myself, what brings me lasting happiness? What do I really need, want? And of course, I'm not always successful. I have cravings from time to time, if not daily, but I can see improvement. And the precepts of a monastic simple lifestyle supports this, and supports my urge to practice the Dharma, keeping me on track, reminding me about my innermost intention to develop myself in such a way that I can be of greatest benefit to sentient beings. And that because I can see the suffering of sentient beings, having attachments, for example, as I know the suffering from my own experience. So the conclusion to that, it's up to us, each individual. I think we don't need to build walls between countries or even around us. Rather, we need to learn to control our own minds. So it doesn't make any sense to want to control other minds if you're not able to control even our own minds. And so it's very helpful for me to learn from history, but not to be stuck with that, to continue now as a wiser person.